who is Greg Nesbitt? All right. So first thing first, Nesbitt is my artist name. Nesbitt is my artist name. My government name is Greg Nesbitt. Reason why I chose Nesbitt as my artist name is that when I got started in the music some time ago, there was a number of persons that was encouraging me to move forward. You know, they were cheering me on. Even even when I wasn't cheering myself on to a certain level, they were there. And so I was like feeding off their energy. It's like because they're saying that I am that much of a star, then I started to believe that I am a star. So I think I owe those people, it was like my classmate. I think I owe them so much. But of course, you know, as time goes by, people would have migrated all over the world. And I just tell myself that I'm going to keep the name Nesbitt because attending school, they call me by my surname. I don't know. It is a Jamaica thing. Once you're in Jamaica and your surname is somewhat unusual, people skip your first name and just call you by your surname. So because they used to call me by my surname, I told myself that, you know what, I'm gonna make it big and I'm not going to feel comfortable making it big and not giving back to the roots where it all started from where these people, you know, believed in me much, much more than I would have believed in myself then. So I kept that name. So wherever in the world they are and they see that name come up, it must ring a bell. And I guess to me, I think that if you encourage someone and realizing that they are doing so good, so well, then I think it will encourage you to encourage someone else. So again, that's how I arrive at Nesbit. Now let me give a little um, give you some information as it relates to where I grew up. I grew up in Kingston, Jamaica. Kingston 11, 12, and 13. Three communities, the same type of hardship. So it's an unfortunate situation. I grew up in an unfortunate situation, meaning that I am from the inner city. The inner city is where the less fortunate gathered not by choice. So I was among that batch, but nevertheless, um, it wasn't that much to me not being in a fortunate situation because when you grow up in a situation, it automatically becomes the norm to you. So what are you afraid of when you grow up in seeing whatever it is? You know, you all you do is just adjust and just keep it moving. So again, and it wasn't, as I said, it's an a low income area, the less fortunate. But my mom and dad could able to to provide meals for us. And so, of course, you know, someday we would have gone to bed without meal. And some days our meal would be like bread and butter, and you know, bread with a little butter on it, and some sugar drink with a little lemonade in it. And of course, you know, someday would have gone to our bed with rice and peas, and of course, you know, whatever it is that makes you feel like things is happening. So I'm not going to say it as if most of my life I've been going through such. You know, so it was one of those hand-to-mouth situation. It was that my parent was able to put a roof over our head. Of course, you know, it's rent house, and I did not see them owning any house. I didn't have, my parents didn't own a car. And some of the necessary little things that, would get you by. But nevertheless, again, as I said, I wasn't the one, I'm the only one that have a parent that did not have these things. So
Mm.
going to school is like,
You came from
I
humble
closed off school.
beginnings.
Sorry, I don't hear you.
You came from humble beginnings.
Yeah, humble beginning, and with sisters and brothers, um, two sisters and one brother. Um, we were together, and that was as much as we our mom keep us together despite the hardship that we was going through. We were able to go to school, to the basic school, the primary school, and to high school, nevertheless. And again, as I said, by treading that journey, my journey, I would start to, see things outside of my immediate circle. And
Mm.
so I was fascinated with being someone because I realized where I'm from, nobody wished to be anyone but themselves. And so yourself, in most cases, is just what you would have seen everybody there one place and
Based
nobody
on your
make one.
environment. Based
So
on
the
your environment.
environment is like a magnet and you become that steel. So it like it keep you right there. I decided that I really do not want that because now I would have understand that there was more to life than just in that circle. Nevertheless, I would have gone through the hard times, the tough times, and I've learned. I live and I learn. And so as I learn, as I go along and I learn, it was a trial and error thing for me. I would have made many mistakes as a
Yeah.
child growing up, but then, sometimes when I sit down and think and reason with myself, I kind of figure out the puzzle better. Sometimes I'll sit down and hear someone talk, and sometimes I go through one ear and come through the other. And then the next time I will sit down and assess myself, ask myself who I am, where am I, where do I want to go, where am I coming from? So questions like such.
So
And
tell me about, when around what age you were inspired. You said your friends gave you the name, and what at what age, how young were you when you realized reggae music, Sing J, when did it hit you?
all right, so let me make a correction. I did not say my friend gave me the name. The name is my
Okay.
biological name. But I
Right.
just said that when you grow up in Jamaica and you attend any institution, if you have an unpopular name, most of the time
The
they call you
last
by
name,
that name.
right.
So
Okay, the
because
last
they call
name.
me by that name, they
They
know me
caught
by
on.
that name. So I'm
Right.
just saying, you know what? I want to give this. So it's just the mind, because who
Hmm.
knows? It's just the mind. I just think it that way that once you do something good, then I must be able to make you have a smile or so on and so forth. So
Yeah.
again, that's a correction. It's like my biological name.
Your
But
name. Okay.
when I realized that I can do a thing where music is concerned,
Hmm.
was there was this time when my mom wasn't around and my dad wasn't around. So I had to live with one of my dad friend in the country. And my dad friend, he passed on now. Uh, Rest in peace, Mr. Chin, popularly known as Mr. Chin. And I was in the country, um, Glengulf to be exact, St. Catherine. And he had a sound system named Primo International. And he have a few children that was very instrumental in the whole sound thing. And I would have seen them DJing and things. I guess apart from music being a part of me from before even I know, I think that was one of the key, just seeing that around me in my immediate circle, helped to open my music lock.
Mm.
So I think that I must give some credit as it relates to that. Um, and so when I returned, I only spent like a year and 6 months in the country in St. Catherine. When I returned to Kingston and decided to finish off school at the Charles Smith Comprehensive High School, I realized that I was doing my stuff now while I was in eighth grade, tapping the decks and doing all kind of things, disturbing the class by singing. And of course, we transformed the class to a dance hall scene.
Well,
Did not have the gears to go with it, but nevertheless, everybody in them uniform and I hold that vibe there. So
uh,
them time I know say there was something, but again, never think it's so deep. So for me to tell you, say, I didn't really see myself being that much of a star from the get-go, I would be lying. I know that I'm going to be a star, but I couldn't say that it would have manifested through the lines of music.
to these heights, and a star you are. Tell me something important that you passed down to your children from your mother or father, maybe a teaching or a saying that you pass down to your children now.
Well, the most I can tell you, my mom and my dad was there. My mom was there for the most part of it. So, um, my mom wasn't that um she did not finish school, so she wasn't able to handle herself through certain situations from an academic point of view. But what I realized, and up until today's day, I always zoom in on it. The fact that she wasn't that much verse as it relates to academic, but she was that person that after school she would write some words on the board and say, spell those words and write them down. And it was the whole I got. I realized that my mom wasn't that, you know, verse as it relates to academics. So what impressed me was the fact that she wasn't a scholar. Let's just say that. But nevertheless, she was encouraging us to be one.
Mm.
So I also realized on my journey that education, knowledge is strength, knowledge is power. The less educated you are, is the less power you will have. And of course, going through this life, then you have to take those things in consideration. So I go the extra mile. I go as far as I can possibly go with my kids to tell them how important it is for them to stick to the book and get the
I
full
see you,
understanding.
have videos with your sons in the morning. You're praying with them. You're starting their day, on an upful vibe, and giving thanks for the day with the Most High. How important has your spiritual journey been, and how has tell me one thing that maybe changed your perspective on life and liberty.
Well, there's a whole lot of things, and I can't sit on the program and tell you everything.
Yeah,
But I remember bits and pieces. Like life lessons would have taught me a lot. And sometimes it is fortunate for one to um, have somebody being there for them so that they can reason with them down the path that they don't have to make the mistake that whoever is reasoning with them made in the past. And so that gave them a long jump to life. But as it relates to me, most of my experience is what I learned from. So sometime and most time my toe would have to buck for me know that the toe can buck. But I understand that none of us is in control of ourselves to a certain extent. And so I also realized that today you are here and tomorrow you're gone. And I try to give the best version of myself every time I get that opportunity to do so. And I think it is something wise to do to encourage the kids to acknowledge life through those that from that angle. Now, of course, they're going to get older and have a choice of their own. But until then, you just want to be there for them to the best of your knowledge and try to impart certain things so that they can find themselves early so they are not forced to make any decision as it relates to life in any aspect, but can easily make a decision feeling good within themselves that this is what they want.
Yes. I love that. I love that advice and that influence that you have on your children. You're such a good dad, a very good example, and you've been through a lot and gone through a lot. So for you to be able to be such an example as a black father, as a father, I love to see that. Tell me about the music tonight that I've been playing for the massive. I played Responsible on the intro, and I was doing my own little intro before you joined me, and I was playing the track for everybody on the radio. Tell me about Responsible, Bounty Killa. You know, how did that track come to be? The concept, production team. It's a big tune.
Yeah, most definitely. And thanks for giving it the spin that you're giving it. You know, I must lift my hat to you. I know indeed it is a very good track, but nevertheless, I still have to tell you a big thanks on behalf of myself and Bounty Killer. To you and everyone out there that love this song. But that song, yeah, Bounty called me one time and we were talking about something. I was in America and when I reads upon something and then I say, time now in a next bet. I say, time now like what you mean? I must say, a time for we collaborate. I must say no more. And you name where you
Mm,
name, So once you say that, we'll make it work. And of course, Nesbeth. We'll just get up and make any and everything work. We'll have to sift through everything and make sure it's whatever it is that the name is aligned to is something that is going to be here for the test of time. So
yes.
who's responsible? That's how the whole thing came about. And I realized that there's a lot of things that is going on, a lot of unanswered questions are floating around. And in this time and age, I think we need the questions that we ask to be answered by the relevant authority. So
Mm-hmm.
again, we put the form of a song, put that and literacy to one side, and say, all right, since music has something more understand, we could just translate the message, the questions through the music. We're still waiting on answers, but as soon as we get those answers, who's responsible? Of course, we have a company program can make you know it all.
Yes, I
But until
definitely
then,
want
it's
to
beyond where
know.
in our summer.
And I feel like they should be held accountable. You know, people need to definitely be able to take accountability for their actions in life. And the song is a wicked track, guys. I'm going to be playing a curated playlist of all Nesbeth music following this interview. So if you want to hear all the music that I've curated into an hour's show after this interview. So it's going to be all my favorite Nesbeth tunes. You have to tune into rootsreggaehub.com to hear the whole curated playlist. If you guys have any questions, now's the time to drop it in the little question box below. I'm not going to go to Twitter for questions tonight. I'm just going to answer one or two questions from the audience. And we're going to talk about another track, Stay How Me Stay, How Stay How Me Stay. And also the music video is on YouTube as well. It's a big track, all the lyrics and everything. Tell me, how that song came to be, and tell me what's your creative process. Is it rhythm? You hear the rhythm and then you create the lyrics, or is it lyrics first, then the rhythm?
Rhythm and then the lyrics. But sometimes it go vice versa. Sometimes you just have the idea of the lyrics and you hear a beat and the beat really speak to you and you realize you can really, join both. And but in this case it was the beat and then the rhythm. But the song itself is self-explanatory. It's like, of course, we would have seen where we are now as a people, and it's not only subject to a Jamaica situation. It's like a worldwide thing, and the temptation is high. And so the fact that the temptation is high, some people trade them soul for attention. And then after the light lock off now, and them only have themselves to deal with their problems. So kind of encourage the people and say, yo, just whatever it is that you're doing, just don't lose your dignity.
Yes.
And just make sure you understand who you are, stand up for what you believe in, and try to be a good example in moving forward. So the song still mistakes and the treble fits production. And ever so often, sometimes people really would have said, when I hear a song that is going in a particular direction, a song that is standing up for certain things, and they're quick to speak out on the fact that they're not hearing those songs. And they elaborate and they on the negative songs and they say all different type of things. So I'm just playing my part to make sure I submit these songs that can empower one and can keep one grounded. So that song is like a map to a positive direction. So if you have anything that is positive about you, stay map is going to be of some importance to you.
Yes.
Easily listen to the
It is a
song.
big
If you're out your way, you can find your way home.
it's a big track. You don't want to sell, sign any contract with, the man down there. You don't want to do any evil. It's always good over evil. And you don't want to sell your soul for any type of money or riches at all. It's a big lesson that, sadly a lot of people have to learn. The track is a big track. I want to play a little bit of the track here for you guys again. I did play a little bit earlier as well. All right.
Tell the little girl she afraid. Baby, you with them astray, you know, sister, them wake. You know, see you too black, you need for blush. Sell me your soul if you want the Grammy rate. If you want me start trend every week. You know what we know. I want if every play too fate. Nothing in a life don't free. Him say, I know what you want, but you plan for do fake. But all when me broke like that, me nah. Sell me soul, figure one trap, me nah. Sell out for your
Nah,
bust
sell
down
out.
road. Nah, sell out for your bust down road.
Nah, sell out for your
All when
bus
me
down
broke like
road.
that, me nah. Come figure impression, me nah. Bend over for injection. Me we go and steal on the steel, yeah, man. Me we go and steal on the steel, nah, man. Work every day and pray, yeah, man.
Yeah,
Don't never
man.
fight, yes, yeah, man.
Yes, yeah,
Just
man.
use on the steel, yeah, man. I follow nobody, me out.
Big
Yes,
tune,
I'm
guys, here on
plan.
the Roots Reggae Hub. I like to pull up on the track. We're live here on the Roots Reggae Hub, Internet Radio 24/7 with Nesda.
Sign off safe in the bus next week. With the youth, them must hear you know, sister, them wait. Tell me your soul if you want to get made.
me have to play 2 feet. Nothing in our life don't free. Him said, I know what you want, but your plan for 2 feet.
Just a little taste, guys.
Why let me rip
That's
like
from the
that?
Reggae Massive Worldwide. I can't play the full track out here on the Instagram, but I have curated a special playlist of all Nesbeth music back to back to back. It's about an hour playlist that I will be sharing following this interview. It's a big, big, big track, Nesbeth. Thank you for that
Many,
track.
many
And hopefully
times.
people are focused now.
Yeah. I hope so too. Some people, what I do understand with people, everybody not gonna learn at once. Even if everybody are here at the same time, some people are a little bit slower than some. So I hope whoever catch it quick can also encourage the people that is considered to be slow to come up.
Yes.
Let's all row this boat together.
Mm.
And the next thing I want to say, like reggae, hub, world station, And and did anyone tell you that you're beautiful from morning? Don't say no. Because now I have to tell you
Not
that you're
today,
beautiful
no.
for everyone.
Thank you,
And
Nesbeth. Thank you so much.
I recently get my work permit for United States of America. And I got my work permit for Canada as well.
We want to see you
So
back in Canada. I was just talking to them about that because I remember seeing you when My Dream came out.
I don't
You
know.
came up here, you had a show with Egyptian,
Yeah,
and I was
yeah.
there with you
Yeah, so now
backstage.
I'm
I did
good.
an interview with you that night. Well, Lady Sharon did the interview with
Yeah,
you, and it was a
yeah.
vibe.
Yeah, man.
It was
And
a
will
vibe.
always be a vibe from Nesbeth is in the building. So I don't have a work permit issue as it relates to Canada. I got
Yes.
my work permit. So all the promoter need to do is just book Nesbeth and the rest is
No,
history.
we need
The
you here. We
work
need you
permit
here.
is no problem. I got that.
All right, beautiful. Because we've been locked down up until February. Now people are partying. There's festivals. I'm gonna definitely want to see you here as soon as possible. Tell me, from 2015 when that song came out, My Dream released, and it garnered you huge success around the world. Tell me how that influenced or maybe changed the way you have your goals and set your dreams and accomplish, or that propel to that height.
Yeah. I'm still learning about so much thing that have to do with that particular year, that particular song, and everything that surrounds it. But the thing is, it has changed my life in many ways. It have changed my life financially, I should
Yes.
say, and it also changed my life on how I view life as well.
Mm.
Because I would have come across people all over the world that told me that they were planning on giving up. And it's when they hear my dream song, it kind of tell them, say, no, brush off yourself. Eat another try. So that for me is everything. The promoter that pays us to do show, that is not even quarter. That does not make you feel quarter as much as when you hear somebody say that your song take them out of the darkness. It empowers them so that they themselves can be a better person. And, so that in its own way would have changed my life because this is now not something that somebody is like we're sitting down and reasoning about, hopefully that sometime in the near future we anticipated things of such happening. No, it is something that would have taken place and I would have experienced. And so I can feel the energy from anyone who is telling me anything as it relates to the song and how much the song is of any help to them. It
Yes.
also would have raised my status as an artist because I was on a trajectory path. It's like coming from my first popular song in 0203, So Let It Be, popularly known as I Love Her, She Loves Me. And then in 06, my first hit song, Board House. And 07, Guns Out This Morning. So I'm no stranger to being that person that people would anticipate my presence, either in the street or on the stage.
Yes.
But my dream was totally different. My dream, it's like it's like I was holding the hand of my previous hit songs and I was going places. But in my dream case, my dream was the one that was holding my hand. And so I was like all over the place. Like I am on this a flight today and I'm going in 3 days and 4 days. I'm in 3 countries
Yes.
performing,
Huge,
leaving a
huge song.
performance, heading to the airport, moving again. So it was a bit tiring, but I was up for it. And
Yeah.
it up until today's date, I'm like all over the place, same way. So it would have changed. It changed my life in more ways than I can sit here and explain.
Yes. Well, you were also named one of the top most influential reggae artists. The list also included Coffee, Vibes Cartel, and another person was on that list. It's huge to be recognized for your talent, and you have such a great gift that you're sharing with the world. I'm grateful. The Reggae Massive Worldwide is also grateful for the music that you are coming out with, and track after track after track, for me, love them. So I will be sharing all of your music after the show with the Reggae Massive on the radio tuned in. I do have one question from the audience. It's a personal question. I'm not sure if you'll answer this question, but it
Trying
says congratulations on the Nesbeth and Bounty Killa tune, big tune. Question: will you marry again? Maybe someone
Will
is
you what?
interested. I don't know, Nesbeth.
Will you what?
Will you marry again?
Will what?
Or would you marry again?
Oh, if I'm going to marry again?
Yes. Question
Okay, I'm
from
going
Lady
to keep a
Sharon.
close watch on my page. And
Yes.
whatever information it is that they anticipated, they will see.
Okay. Okay. We have to keep a close watch on your Instagram for all those updates. And blessed Earth Strong again. Happy belated Earth Strong. I saw you enjoying it with your family.
Oh, you said happy belated Earthstrong?
Earth Strong, yes. I saw you celebrating with
Yeah,
family.
yeah, man. Bless up yourself, man, and thank you very much. And to everyone who would have been, you know, blessing me upon my earth strong, it makes me feel like, of course, I'm welcome on earth. And so
Yes.
it gives me that energize, it give me that energy to move forward and just do whatever I'm doing in tenfold. So,
Yes. All right. Is there anything? Oh, I have one last question before I let you go. I know this is one more question for you before I let you go for the night and I play your curated playlist for the audience. Tell me something most people don't know about you or would never guess.
repeat that question. I did not hear you.
Tell me something most people don't know about you or would never guess.
Repeat again? No, I should say repeat.
Tell me something most people don't know about you or would never guess.
I appreciate this. I must tell you something most people don't
Yeah,
know
you
about
gotta
me.
tell me
I
something
will
most people
never.
have no idea about?
Ah,
Something most
let me
people
see.
would never guess about you. A surprise. Something
Uh,
about you could be anything.
yeah, I'm just trying to search my mind and see.
Okay. You gotta give me something.
Let's leave that for the next program.
Next program.
Let's
Okay,
leave that
part
for,
two. You have
yeah.
nothing to. Well, at least we know that there might be some, love in the air. We got a nice answer to that question, the last question, that we might be seeing some updates on your Instagram. Tell people on the radio where they can find you on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. What's the links? Spell it out.
Oh, so Nesbet Reggae is my Instagram name, Nesbet Reggae, and on my Facebook is Nesbet. And you can also go on my website, www.nesbetreggae.com. So, yeah, I think that's a social platform. I have some Stay Home Stay merchandise as well, like cups and whatever, cups,
Yes.
t-shirt, and so on and so forth. So, if anyone really interested in supporting Team Nesbet, then you can feel free to go on my website. You can purchase a cup and you can hit me up on my Instagram. And again, as I said, because I have visa for the whole world right now.
Yes.
Anybody at all ready work permit for the whole world right
Are
now.
there any
So
events coming up that we should know about? Any events coming up soon that we
I
should
have
know
so
about?
many events coming up. I don't even know the date them off the top of my head, but it's through the Caribbean in United States of America as well and other parts of the world. But I just want to take the time out to tell you that I am happy that you were able to sit this interview, and I'm happy that I could take that time out to make
Yes,
sure
thank you.
that I am on the interview as well. I like the way in which you ask the questions. And of course, I know that the question that you are asking, those questions are not necessarily for yourself, like for yourself. Of course, you want to know some might for yourself, but nevertheless, you're not selfish. So you'll ask the question and hope that whatever answer I would have given, you share it with yourself along with your listeners. So many, many thanks. I want to also take the time out to thank Team Nesbet that has always been my support and bless up my kids. And again, I definitely want to say I have an awesome birthday yesterday because
Awesome.
my birthday started when my Empress came down in a half a tree early in the morning, 4 or 5 o'clock before day and show me my picture on the billboard in half a tree,
Wow.
promoting the song Stay Home Stay. So again, of course, the birthday started on a high note, and I just want to say it did not drop short. So it continued on that path until we drop asleep. The families, kids, everybody was there cheering on. I got lots of gifts, more gifts than I remember. So I just want to say thanks to everyone.
Yes.
And I was definitely looking forward to have this interview with you because it's my first time having this interview online with you, correct?
Yes. It's
And
the
I
first time.
realized that you are a fan. I realized that you are a fan, not just of Nesbit, but of positive music. I feel your vibe, I feel
Yes.
your energy. And I want to salute you for keeping on that path. I want to salute the organizing body of Roots Reggae Hub Radio. Because really and truly, being on live on this interview is really a part of my journey, and I will always remember it.
Thank you, Nesbeth. I will always remember reasoning with you tonight, getting to know you a lot better. And also, thank you again for the gift that you share, which is yourself giving of your music and such, inspirational lyrics that we can all learn from and grow from. And by you sharing yourself, we learn more about ourselves as well. I, the family Reggae Massive Worldwide. Thank you for tuning in tonight on the Roots Reggae Hub. Keep it locked here for the radio people. I'm going to be playing Nesbeth for the next hour live here on the rootsreggaehub.com around the world. Thank you, Nesbeth. Have a great night. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in tonight. Bless up. One love.
Yeah, man, many thanks. And to all your listeners, I just want to say thank you for tuning in. And I do hope I would have said something that you will now know that you did not know before. And of course, you just can be a friend as well. Just come on my page, be a friend, say hi, and keep it real. Bless up yourself. And thanks
Bless up.
again for having me on your program.
Thank you, Nesbeth. Thank you, everybody, for joining me tonight. This is Shayna McCullough. I'm signing off. And this is the new Nesbeth Music, Stay Mystia on rootsreggaehub.com. Bye, everyone. Bless up, everybody. Good night.